Anybody have any questions about that, for sure?
Could you give an update on Cole Anthony?
Yes, he's, as I told you, he had done nothing practice-wise, but he's been doing a lot of 1-on-0, a lot of shooting, a lot of this, a lot of that. So we got to the point that yesterday we allowed him to go 5-on-5, and he probably went 25 to 35% of practice. I don't time it and everything. I'm just giving you my gut feeling. If he feels all right today, we'll probably let him do at least that. And if he feels all right tomorrow, when we come in for shoot around, there's a possibility, not a possibility, probability that would play him tomorrow. And all the stuff that he's been doing is, has been, like I say, 1-on-0. He's shot a lot. I've given him some shooting drills, challenged him. How long does it take you to make 125 threes? So it's not been like you guys shooting outside by yourself. I mean, he's really worked it, and we'll just have to wait and see how he feels today. We're at almost a 6-week point, and so I feel a heck of a lot more comfortable than I did before. And he's dying to try to play, so we'll see what happens. And strictly, if he comes in today and says he's sore, then he's not going to play. But if he comes in today and says he feels great and handles it well, then like I say, there'll be a probability I'll play him.
Well, best case scenario and he plays, will there be like a limit to his minutes? Will we kind of incrementally bring him on?
I have no idea. I'll watch how he runs up and down the court and how well he's playing. He's not going to play 40 minutes. It just depends on how he looks, how rusty he looks, how clean he looks, how sharp he looks, and his, of course, his conditioning. But he's been working on his conditioning. I mean, they've been working him pretty doggone hard. And whether it's in the swimming pool or in the weight room, I mean, and he's a pretty high conditioned athlete anyway.
From talking to him the other night, it was clear he's been eager to get back, but he also was very clear about, there was no need to rush back, like you had said, and waiting till you're 110%. How's he handled that part about, he wants to be out there, but he's been responsible with what he's been doing?
I think that's a good word. I think he's been responsible. I think our trainer's been responsible. I think everybody's tried to look at the big picture and see what is best. And he's an athlete that I have a tremendous amount of respect for and trust in what he's saying about how he feels. It hasn't been easy for him. He wants to play, likes to play, and but he's been very cooperative in every situation we possibly had.
He's been sitting next to you guys on the bench as opposed to usually an injured player at the end of the bench. How much has that helped him sort of maybe see the game? In your discussions with him, do you think he's maybe seen the game a little bit differently or thinking it differently?
I've told the story in here. I did it to Drew Gooden 20 years ago, that's how many it was. And I thought it helped Drew immensely. And we'll wait and see on Cole.
Roy, so the next question, once you get Cole back, it becomes, okay, he's been out for these number of games. How do people kind of adjust back to him? Is that, I'm guessing that's just basically a process?
Nobody knows. But again, we've got good kids who look at the big picture and look at the team. He looks at the team. If he goes out there, I mean, he was a young man, Ryan Kelly, who sat out a long time, came back and got 36 his first game. Ray French sat out an extra week for me and came back and got 32 his first game. I've had other guys that came back and didn't play very well the first game, so we'll just have to wait and see on all that. But he's a good teammate. His teammates care about him and understand what's going on. So, I'm not saying it's going to be the smoothest ride. I'm just saying nobody knows until you get into it.
Garrison said the other day that when Cole went down, after a few games, he learned that he had to be the guy to bear a little bit more responsibility of leading, being the aggressor, and his production obviously has gone up. What else have you seen from the rest of the team, like how they've gotten better as a group since Cole went down?
Well, I think Garrison being willing to take that responsibility has been a big thing for us, probably the biggest thing. And we said, hey guys, you need to throw the ball to him. He needs to touch it more. And everybody's accepted that. And Cole sat there and watched that improvement, and Cole will go, he'll fall right in line with that itself. But everybody makes way too, in my opinion, everybody makes way too much of it. I mean, you're either a good teammate, you're a bad teammate, and then you either know how to play or you don't know how to play. And so you can play with other people. And point guards, I think, are always good teammates because they look to pass the ball a lot. You know, you got shooting guards, and big guys don't tend to pass it out. Sometimes that guy's not as easy a teammate to play with. But I think that Garrison's made those steps forward, which we expect everybody to do. I think B-Rob, at one point I said, well, he's finally getting healthy, and, you know, and all the other stuff is happening to him too, but he's more healthy than he was starting the season. And, you know, because he missed those first 4 games. So the whole thing has been in such a, I don't know, not disarray because they've worked so hard together in practice, but it hasn't been a very calm stretch. Steve said last year we've started the same lineup 35 games. You know, we've started 35 people this year. You know, so I don't know what the crap it is, but I think that during the course of the season, everybody's job is to get better. And I think Garrison has definitely done that, and I think that's helped our team probably more than anything else.
Roy, when do you at all, you know, talk to your team and say, this is what we have to do to find our way into the NCAA tournament? Do y'all take it by a one day at a time?
I've never spoken to them about making the NCAA tournament. I've talked to them about, let's get better today. That's what I've said every single day, and I'll say it every single day, and it's not any different than I've ever said when any of our teams are struggling. And we've been lucky that we haven't struggled a lot, but anytime any of our teams are struggling, I don't try to paint a picture of what might be out there. It's just, let's do the job today and try to get better today. And for the most part, that's worked okay for us. I think trying to talk about, you've heard me say this before, if you're always looking down the road, that's where you're going, down the road back home. Play today, play the game today, play the game today. Get better today in practice, get better today in practice. And you know, I'd say that more for the fans, because they, as soon as the brackets, for example, come out, they start thinking about, well, we're going here, this could be a matchup, and I'm always concerned about one team, and that's the team that we're playing next. And so that's the way I use it, is if you look down the road, you're going back home, people keep playing.
Coach, with the Coach K kind of story with yelling at the fans, just want to reference, Playtech also mentioned the state fans are pretty ruthless, saying they crossed the line. There's been some famous stories with Dean Smith, with the J.R. Reed sign, him asking to take it down. Could you kind of just describe on your thoughts and feelings with how the students interact with the players and kind of that dynamic that maybe you've heard over the years?
I thought they were beautiful. Monday night, didn't bother me at all. But I don't get into that stuff unless something wacky goes on. And as far as I was concerned, nothing wacky went on there. They're pretty brutal over there, but they just choose to do that. And but again, I usually don't get involved in that. Things are so much more calm now than they were 30 years ago. I mean, my gosh, they were really bad then. So it's, but they cheer like crazy for their team. They'll yell at us on the bench and say some things, but it's, I focus on what's going on out there on the court.
Roy, how's Jeremiah doing?
He also practiced on a limited basis yesterday, and I go in there today and I'll see how he's doing, how much practice he's going to do today. It's been a weird deal, guys. I mean, every day I get up and before lunch I talk to Doug, see who we want to have available for practice. I can't ever remember having this kind of situation, so it's what it is, and we wait and find out who's going to play that day.
I have not, excuse me one second, I have not put out the notes yet for tomorrow just because I was waiting to hear what Coach said about Cole. But in the notes, we passed the mark in the state game where now more scholarship players have missed more games this season than in any of Coach's previous 16 seasons.
So it'll blow by that pretty good.
Yeah. We're still in January.
Just a
we're at
few.
Sterling's not
65.
coming back, you know, Anthony's not coming back, so we'll blow by those record pretty far.
It's my understanding your wife received a gift card at state. Have you all indulged in that yet?
No, I'm sure they'll change their policy, because half the people are on that road with North Carolina seats, so they'll change that policy, I guarantee you. So they picked whatever guy's out, and everybody in your row gets a gift card. It's for gas, I think is what it is. She didn't give it to me. And I don't think it has to be used in Raleigh either, so it's.
Well, you talked a lot over the years, obviously, about that, the ball goes in the basket, makes everything look better. In terms of confidence Have you noticed a switch with your players last couple games?
You know, B-Rob, as I said, getting more healthy. He's our best shooter. He's got one of our records in all our shooting drills and his shot, but, you know, he's been banged up so much. I mean, he plays 34 minutes against Pittsburgh. We got whacked in the back of the neck, you know, early in the game. I'd say a little bit, you know, partially driven more by B-Rob and perhaps being driven by don't take a bad one. You know, I mean, there's two direct things that make the difference when the ball goes in the basket. Can you shoot effectively? And it is a good shot. And for the most part, I think we're taking better shots now than we were 5 or 6 games ago.
Anybody else?
You guys know we are playing Boston College tomorrow.
So what do you think?
So what are your thoughts on DC?
I thought we'd go for the whole press conference. They shoot it about like we do, so let's go see who plays the best.
Mr. Playtech will be in momentarily.
And I'm sorry you got Andrew.
Thanks, Roy.